You know that moment when you feel you could use your teleprompter way better. You are afraid of making mistakes and making things worse. You have some urgent questions that need answers. Don't worry, I had the same questions and made the same mistakes, but I will share my experience with you so you can make the teleprompter the friend who helps you achieve professional results. The number one question I had, and I see it everywhere, it's about the teleprompter size. How big should the teleprompter be? I will look more natural if I use a bigger teleprompter. I see this question everywhere since the Excel version of the Elgato prompter was released. I've used multiple teleprompters in the past. Let me tell you the trick about the size of the teleprompter glass. Let's pretend this is a small teleprompter and this is a big one. If you shoot talking head videos in a small room, the teleprompter will be close to you most of the time. If you think you will read better and be more relaxed because the text will be bigger, that's a mistake. It will actually make you look extremely strange. When I have this small paper close to me, I will move my eyes from the start of the line to the end of it. Because it is a short line of text, I don't need to move my eyes too much. If the teleprompter is bigger like this and it's closer to me, the line of text will be long and I will look strange when moving my eyes that much. What I like to do is make the line of text no wider than the lens, so I always look inside the lens and people won't notice that I read. And if this is the size of my lens, it won't matter how big the teleprompter is because my text will have the same size. This aspect is important when I use the teleprompter to read in front of the camera. However, if you use the teleprompter for online calls to see the person you are speaking with and want a larger screen, that will be fine. But keep in mind the disadvantages. A big teleprompter can't be attached to the lens like the small one, since it will be too heavy. Most of the time the cost will be higher. Also, it will take up a lot of space. But when it's a big teleprompter necessary, if you have a big distance between you and the teleprompter, 15-20 feet, then yes, a bigger teleprompter will help because at that distance you will almost not move your eyes when reading. And of course, it will be easier. But for the majority of us talking head video creators, streamers, educators or trainers, that will be unnecessary. The second debate and question about the teleprompter is, should I use a teleprompter that works with my phone or will the Elgato prompter be better? What can I do if I want to change the location where I shoot and can't access my computer? The Elgato prompter does not work with a smartphone. I tested both systems and here is the catch. With a teleprompter that uses your smartphone as a display, you can shoot anywhere and it's cheaper because it doesn't have a display, but you lose a lot. The Elgato prompter works as a teleprompter to read your scripts, but you can also use it as a secondary display for online calls to see the person, and by looking into the lens, you will look into their eyes. But guess what? The teleprompters are simple glass surfaces that reflect what's in front of them. To use the Elgato prompter display, you need to connect it to a PC or laptop, and this is why you can use it for many things. If you shoot somewhere else and don't have access to your PC, what stops you from placing a black fabric over the display to avoid scratching it and using your smartphone as you would with any other teleprompter? And this is why I always say, think about a long-term investment. With a teleprompter like this, you are forced to use your phone every time. With the Elgato prompter, you can do whatever you want. But here is a problem that occurs when using the teleprompter for online calls. If the person you are speaking with is wearing bright clothes or the image is bright, you will see a reflection on the glass. This will appear with any teleprompter. It's not a specific problem for the Elgato prompter, it's a general problem with bright images and teleprompters. This is why even in TV studios, the text on teleprompters is always on a black background. But what can you do? Well, the only option I found is to dim the display brightness to around 30%. I'm still seeing the person I'm speaking with, but the reflection will disappear, or it will almost disappear, it depends on how bright the image is. Now, let's talk about the voice sync feature and problems. I will explain immediately why I don't use it and don't like it, but first, here is the controversy around it. Some people say it works excellently, others say it's super bad and does not work well. This is a software problem, not a hardware one. You need to understand how it works. The software needs to understand what you are saying. If you are like me, not a native English speaker, pronunciation can be a problem. If you pronounce a word in a strange way and the software doesn't understand it, it will freeze, skip, get delayed, or experience other problems. Another potential problem, the microphone you are using. If you record your audio in camera, for example, with a wireless lavalier microphone, and the teleprompter is hearing you through the laptop's bad microphone that's farther away, it can be a huge problem. If you, like me, use a professional microphone to record audio separately and also for the teleprompter, it can do a much better job. Some creators say the Elgato software is bad for voicing, I tested it and it's bad, but they use the laptop's built-in mic. And after that they say, I tested another app on the smartphone and it's good, but they are holding the phone with the mic close to them. Of course that will work better because the app will hear you better. Keep these aspects in mind. Now, why don't I use voicing even if it follows me perfectly? I tested it and realized that if the prompter follows me, I tend to slow the pace more and more, making the video feel boring. Setting a specific text speed myself will help me maintain a nice pace without being boring. And more importantly, how should you control the teleprompter? Some creators like to use a remote to stop and start a text while reading. Others like to use a foot pedal. I don't like either of these because when I shoot, I don't want my brain focused on the remote or the foot pedal. Yes, I'm reading my words, but if I use a remote, my brain will pay attention to it. Now stop, start, stop, start. I will only read the text, paying attention to the remote and losing focus on the meaning of the words, breaking the connection with you, the audience. And for me, this is a huge problem. I prefer to make a few tests, set the right speed, press play and let it scroll. I'm focused only on talking to you and the meaning of the words. If I make a mistake, I scroll the text back and read the phrase again, but I don't like to be occupied with a remote or a foot pedal. And of course, if you want to buy the Elgato prompter or everything that I use in my setup, I will add an affiliate link in the description to the full list of equipment. If you click on it, you won't pay anything extra, but I'll earn a small commission, and this will help me keep sponsors away from this channel and create more valuable content for you. Thank you. And now, maybe the most requested teleprompter solution. How can you use your teleprompter and shoot vertically? If you flip the camera and attach the teleprompter, you will see the edges of the teleprompter. In this case, you can use a wide lens like the Viltrox 15mm f1.7, keep the camera horizontal, imagine how the frame will look from your position, and crop the image in post. And for a live stream in OBS, if you have the image set to 9:16, you can position the camera like this to get a vertical look with the teleprompter and the camera positioned normally. If you are a bit creative and like to improvise a little, you will find a solution for sure. But if you think you've solved all the problems with teleprompters, you are wrong. There are a few easy tricks that will help you read naturally in front of the teleprompter as you would speak to a friend. I will give you the video right now where I show all the tricks. Watch it, apply the tricks, and immediately change the way you look in front of the camera when reading from a teleprompter.